Hello, this is Starry Ari's ASMR. I am Ari, and today in this video I would like to share and chat a little bit about some of the games that I am excited to play in 2025 or that I'm interested in that will be coming out this year. I know that we are already a little bit into the year now that it's February, but I recently finished a few games that I'd been working on in 2024, and I thought now would be a great time as I'm kind of looking for what I want to play next. So, as I don't have the games with me, I just have this blank game case, and then I think what I'm going to do is put a picture of the game that I'm talking about briefly on the screen, because some of these games also don't have title images just yet, but I will try and find some way to show what I'm talking about briefly, and I will also add, I think, timestamps for the video if you want to skip around. So the first series I want to talk about is Assassin's Creed. So many gamers that love the Assassin's Creed series know that there is a new one scheduled out this year. However, I am currently doing a release order playthrough of the series, and I just finished Unity. So the next game in the Assassin's Creed series that I will be playing is Syndicate. So I am excited to start that one soon. I enjoyed Unity for the fact that it was an Assassin's Creed game. I love the Assassin's Creed games, but it certainly wasn't my favorite, and I think that a lot of people share that sentiment. But I am excited to start Syndicate, and then I think that this year I will also play Origins. But my husband really enjoyed playing Origins. He hasn't played all of the Assassin's Creed games, and certainly not in order like I have been doing, but he's played a few of them sprinkled here and there, like the first and the second and Black Flag, and then he has played some of the newer releases, and he really enjoyed Origins, so he's been excited for me to get to that point so that I could play it as well. So I am excited. I'll definitely keep going with the Assassin's Creed series. I think this year I'll probably only make it through those two, but if for some reason I get in like a hyper-focused Assassin's Creed mood, maybe I'll also get through Origins and start the next one. I think is it Valhalla after Origins? I'm not entirely sure. I'm pretty sure it is, but so I know that I am excited to try that one because it's like an entirely different play style. But I know with Shadows coming out this year, I still have quite a few games in the series to get through before that. Oh, I think it might be Odyssey after Origins. Maybe. So Assassin's Creed is kind of the first one on my mind because I've just been doing that playthrough for a few years now. And the next game that I've been keeping an eye out for is Borderlands 4. The Borderlands series is another one of my favorite series. I've probably spent the most amount of time playing the Borderlands games because I have done multiple playthroughs of each game as different characters. So I've been really excited about a new one coming out. As of right now, I don't believe that there is a set release date. I think that it's just set to come out in 2025. But I think that it was most likely going to be coming out in the fall. I did kind of get the peek at the new Vault Hunters, and I did see that there was a siren. For all of my Borderlands playthroughs, I always start with my first character, typically as a siren, and I love playing as these badass female characters. So I did see that there was a siren included in the new Vault Hunters. So I'm very excited about that. I'm always interested to see what powers the new siren will have. I know that a lot of people didn't like Borderlands 3, and the story and dialogue were certainly, I think, lacking in some parts and in some depth, especially when you compare it to Handsome Jack's character. And honestly, his voice actor was just phenomenal, really. But I think that there were a lot of upgrades to the quality of life that I really enjoyed in Borderlands 3. I think that the gameplay and the mechanics felt a lot smoother, especially if you've played the games like back to back. I think that you can really feel that as you're going through. And I also did really enjoy Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, and my husband and I played that together, and it was a bit different, from the normal Borderlands games, but I still enjoyed it. I still enjoyed the fighting style. It's still pretty true to a Borderlands game, so I am very excited about Borderlands 4, and as soon as that comes out, I think that that will probably be the only game that I play until I'm at least done with my first playthrough of it. And the next game that I'm kind of interested in, and I've been keeping an eye out on, is Split Fiction. And this game is a new game set to release, I think, early March of this year. And it is from Hazelight Studios. And this is the makers of It Takes Two and A Way Out. And I think they had another big one, but those are kind of the main two that are in my mind. So I played through It Takes Two with my husband, and we absolutely loved it. It was such a phenomenal game. We haven't played A Way Out because some of the reviews that I'd seen and kind of commentary on it was that it's much more like story focused, and that's just not as like interesting to us. Like, it's like you're playing through a story rather than like playing through the game, if that makes sense. Like, it's much more narrative, and maybe that's not true. Maybe I should still give it a try, but either way, we enjoyed It Takes Two so much, and so we've been keeping an eye out on new games from the studio. And Split Fiction is an action adventure style game. It is a co-op style game where you play as two writers that are trapped in a simulation based on their own like imaginations, and you need to work together to escape the situation. and it looked really interesting because you're in a mix of environments. So it seems like some of it is like a fantasy style from one of the writers, and then some of it is like a cyber futuristic style. So that seemed really interesting, and I know that my husband and I are always looking for games that we can play together. And that one looks like a really good fun one. And we like to find like couch co-op games because we only have one Xbox console and we usually do most of our gaming on the Xbox. So we really like finding really good, well-developed couch co-ops. And I'm hoping that some of these will come out on Game Pass, but some of the ones like Borderlands 4, we own all of the Borderlands games, so I will just buy that one because I want to have it. Another game that I've been looking out for is the Lost in Random sequel, and it's called Lost in Random The Eternal Die. And a lot of these games I'm talking about, I mentioned in my games I played in 2024 video. But this game I have been following ever since I finished Lost in Random last year, and it is set to release in 2025. I don't believe that there's like a set release date yet, but this game we get to play as the Queen Alexandra and wield her die companion. And I think that from the trailer releases and the information out about the game, it seems like we are playing as her trying to confront the kind of the evils or the situation that like put her in her position. So I loved the first game. It was a really, really unique play style for me. I haven't played a lot of games like that, and I think that it was a really unique art style, and the dialogue was a little cheesy here and there, but overall I just had a really fun time playing the game. So I expect really good things out of this one, and I hope that it at least mildly lives up to the first one. I am not somebody that is like particularly picky about sequels or like gatekeepy about it. You know, I think if it's a fun game, it's a fun game, and ultimately, you know, if I want to play the first of a game, I'll go back through and play that again, you know. So I don't try and fault studios for trying new things with sequels, and ultimately, you know, I'm playing these games to have fun. Sometimes a sequel just isn't very fun, and that's okay. You know, if they're just trying something different, that's alright. Maybe it just wasn't for me. But I am very excited about that one. I'm really crossing my fingers that that one comes out okay. Another game, kind of, that I will be playing more of in 2025 is Escape Academy. So I played this one also with my husband because this was a fun co-op one. And it's like an escape room style game, and you're playing as these students that are trying to get better and better at escapes. And we played through the full base game, and then we realized that there are actually 2 additional DLCs. There might be more, but I think that there's just 2 right now. And I would love to try and play through those. I think that that would be really fun to have some additional rooms and puzzles we love escape rooms, and we have multiple like physical board games that are kind of similar to that, and we just have a great time with that, and we really loved that game. So I do think that that's probably something that I will try and play this year. Another one that I have seen that looks like a really fun, cozy puzzle game is, I think that it's pronounced Nurikabe World. I'll put it up here. But it is like a logic puzzle game where you're having to solve puzzles by creating islands and connecting rivers and creating these beautiful sceneries. I love puzzle games, and this one looks like really fun graphics, and I think, I'm not entirely sure what platform it's coming out on, but I think it'll at least be available on Steam, so I'm kind of keeping an eye out on that. I've been interested in trying some more puzzle games this year because I feel like I played a decent amount in 2024, and it just kind of reminded me how much I love them. And then I also have a few games that I'm not too sure about, but like I might give a try. And the first one that I'd seen was Aloft, and this seems like a cozy survival game, which feels kind of funny. I feel like those don't normally go together, but where you are like in the clouds, like you're living in the clouds or something, and you're having to like transform islands into like ships, and you're kind of like exploring the skies and like navigating new islands, gathering resources, all of that fun stuff. I don't know if I'll particularly enjoy this game. Usually for kind of grindy games like that, I get really into it for a while, maybe like a month, like that's the only thing I play, and then I just kind of get burnt out on it. But I always love while I'm playing it. So I think even if I know that I might not like stick with it long term, I might still give it a try. But I do already also have other kind of like life sim games that I'm still playing. Like I'm still playing Astroneer. I really love that one. I think it's just such a cute art style. Like it's just so cutesy. All of the colors are really pastel. And I'm still playing Disney's Dreamlight Valley. That one is just like a fun one that I like to pop into every now and then. I haven't played it in a while, but I know that there are quite a few new characters, so I think that I probably would like to go back into that one soon. Another game I've seen on Game Pass that I think might be really interesting for me is Creatures of Ava. And this game, it seems like you play as a researcher that arrives on a planet, and you are trying to like save the animals from extinction or from a disease or something like that. And you're just trying to like befriend the animals, and it just seems really interesting. Seems like a storyline that I would really enjoy. I played The Gunk in 2024 and loved it. I don't remember if I talked about that in my previous video about games that I enjoyed in 2024, but I should have. I think that I just forgot about it, but I loved playing The Gunk. I thought that the storyline was so fascinating. I loved the play style, and ultimately, like I had such a fun time with it. And there are aspects of Creatures of Ava that kind of remind me, maybe not of the actual play style, but remind me of the story I've also seen another cozy game that is called Whisper of the House, and this one seems right up my alley because it looks like you are organizing and decorating houses and spaces for like the various townspeople in the game, and you're like helping them move and like clean their spaces, and then you're like learning about them, like learning stories about the town through the objects or something like that. So it seems really interesting, and I think that I would really enjoy it. So I kind of want to look into that one more. I'm not sure like what platform that one is on. I'm not entirely sure if that one is out yet either. But I just seen that one. I like scoping the like cozy gaming subreddit, and I had seen that one as a recommendation, but I don't remember if it was a recommendation of a game that is already out or something that is coming out. But I think I'll look into that one a little bit more because I just love organizing games. I loved unpacking. I'm currently doing a playthrough of that here on my channel. And I love organizing games like A Little to the Left. I love that game. So I think if it's kind of in that same vein, I think that I'll really enjoy it. And another game that I've seen quite a bit that I haven't tried yet, but I think that I'd probably enjoy it, is Coral Island. It looks like a very cozy, like farm sim type of game, but it's like set in this beautiful, like island setting, and I think that you kind of like are trying to just, farm the land, make nice with the townsfolk, like all of that stuff. And like I said earlier, I think that these games I find really interesting for like a short period of time, and then I just kind of move on to other things. But I do really enjoy them while I'm playing them, so I think that that's one that maybe I'll give a try this year at some point, and who knows, I mean, it might be one of those games that I do just kind of play off and on. And I've already talked a little bit about some games that I will be continuing this year. So I'm not going to talk too much about Assassin's Creed. I've already talked about what I'm doing with that. But I'm also still playing through Starfield. I haven't completed the main storyline yet, but I have really enjoyed going through that and doing all of the side quests, and there are times where I just go into the game and just survey planets and animals, and I enjoy that that game has so many different aspects to it that, depending on how I'm feeling in that day, I can usually hop on and at least do something that's more interesting to me. So I'm definitely going to play through that. I'm hoping that I'll finish it this year. My husband has finished it. My father is also a gamer. I come from a pretty big gaming family, and he's finished it, and I keep having to tell them when we meet up, like, don't say any spoilers about the main storyline. So I think they would be very happy if I at least finish it so that we can all talk about it. So I'll keep working on that one. And I've already talked a little bit about, I'm still playing Astroneer. I'm still playing Dreamlight Valley every now and then. I am doing my new playthrough of Unpacking, a new playthrough of a first playthrough of the Seeing Stars DLC for A Little to the Left. I have been thinking also of doing another playthrough once I'm done with those two games here on my channel, a playthrough of Chants of Sonar. This was another game that I talked about in my 2024 video, because I loved this game so much. This skyrocketed into one of my favorite games of all time. After I played it, I immediately was looking up like games similar to this one. I was looking at the studio, like seeing what plans they had for any new games that were similar. I just absolutely loved it. And even though I know the full story now and it won't be as interesting learning things as I go, I think that it might be a really fun, relaxing game to play here on the channel. So I've been kind of waffling back and forth on that. We'll see. I'm gonna get through my 2 current playthroughs that I'm doing first, and then we'll kind of see how I'm feeling. See if there's another game that piques my interest more. Yeah, I'm sure that there are probably more games out there that I, will be excited for that I haven't even really thought about yet or haven't really followed. Um, I really enjoy playing games. I enjoy playing lots of different types of games. I'm not a genre purist. I like dipping into lots of different types. So I'm very excited for this year. I feel like there are some really big titles coming out. Obviously, even some bigger titles that I'm just not particularly interested in playing that I know other people are very excited about. But I think these are kind of the main ones that are just at the top of my head that I'm looking forward to giving a playthrough in 2025. I hope that this was interesting or relaxing for you to hear me rambling on about some of the games that I'm looking forward to playing this year or continuing to play this year. I would love to hear maybe some of your favorites or games that you're keeping an eye on for their release dates, or even older games that you haven't played that you're interested in playing in 2025. Or if you have any game suggestions that you think that I would enjoy, please feel free to leave them. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you have